This is an umbrella stand I made years ago, and I've been trying to improve on it. The basic framework I like a lot, and how I build it I like a lot. The thing that needs the most improvement are these feet down here. And what I did is I got these, they're just plain steel finials, and they had holes in them. I poked the iron through the backside and then tried to tack weld it out here. Yeah, it worked, but not really well. And it was very difficult to do, I should say. And then the other problem was that, of course, if you have steel in contact with your floor and it's damp, it'll leave rust marks. I didn't want that, so I soldered brass washers on the bottom of here and then put some felt on it. Yeah, you're saying it's kind of cheesy and it's not really secure because it'd be easy to knock one of those off there and not even notice and end up with rust marks. So the big improvement is to use this stainless steel finial like that. And I'm going to drill a hole through here and fill it with epoxy and then put it on the leg. You can see I've already started on this. Put it on the leg like this and then attach it. So again, we're going to do close-ups on all this so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I know it's kind of far away right now, but the general picture will be that. These legs were made by, I don't have a bender, so yeah, I just made cuts in the metal, through the metal to about the last 2 millimeters, and then you could just bend it literally with your fingers and then re-weld it. And where you have bigger bends like this, you can make 2 cuts about 1 centimeter apart and then bend that and then re-weld it. And then this upper end, which is sharper, you can use like 3 cuts closer together and then re-weld that and you'll get that tighter bend. So it goes on here like that. Okay, so again, let's go do those promised close-ups so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Here are the close-ups. There's been 3 cuts here, 1, 2, 3. You can see the little bumps right here. So I've cut through most of the way and then re-welded, cut through, re-welded, cut through, re-welded. And not all the way through, down to about 2 millimeters. Yeah, so I should say that. It's not cut all the way through. And this is approximately, what is that? 3 centimeters, yeah, like that. And this should be 2 centimeters because I put a centimeter in between each of the cuts, so that would be that. The long part of the shaft out here is 60 centimeters. Let's look at the bottom end and make sure we're all on camera and everything. Let's measure this so I don't forget. This is, I think, 6 centimeters. Yes, so there's a single cut here. You can see it right there. And there's a single cut there, right there. And between the two, there's 6 centimeters. And there's another centimeter here and another cut right there. And this is about 1.5, if I remember right, because that is the depth of the finial ball, like that. Okay, so we know how that is constructed. What's going to happen is that I am going to, well, I've already drilled this, so there's a hole in the end of there that's the size of a pop rivet, like that. And there's a hole now in the finial. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the finial with epoxy, slow drying epoxy, because, yeah, I need time to work it. Then I'm going to push it on here and make sure you can see that. Then find the hole I drilled in the end like that, put it on there, and this is too long, but I'm using this right now to just determine how long of a pop rivet I'm going to need. And then I'm going to scratch this like that. And then I will know exactly how long of a pop rivet I will need. Okay, there we go. So it's about right there. So I need a pop rivet that's that long or shorter so that, yeah, I don't have anything hanging out at the end when I'm done. So then I'll put it on there with the epoxy in place. It'll be mostly full of epoxy. Put it on there, pop rivet in place, and then let it harden. And that will be the technique. Okay, so the next step is to start, I need to cut the pan up and put some cross members on the legs. As we discussed earlier, I filled this up with epoxy, push it on there, and pop rivet it in place, and I've let it harden for several hours now. It looks pretty good. I've got a little bit of shrinkage, a couple millimeters of shrinkage back there. I didn't know that would do that. I've used this stuff for a long time and never really seen it do that, but I don't usually have, you know, big chunks of it like this. But it doesn't really bother me because I'm just going to backfill that a little bit. And yeah, and next we'll be doing some welding. We'll put the crossbar out here, and once we get that started, we'll come back and take a look and see how that's going. So I've taken my stainless steel pot, and this time I bought a new one. Last time I used one that got left on the stove and kind of damaged. But yeah, went out and bought a new one. I will put the dimensions of this in the description below, but I have gone through and cut it, and I just merely marked it, and I put a piece of duct tape on both sides of my line because I'm not good at staying on the line. The other thing I did is I cut off, there was a nut here on both sides for mounting the handles, and I removed that, and I left the little tabs on here because it just so happens that the leg will go right in there, and then I can weld to that. The other sides, I'm just going to have to deal with it. Last time I drilled a hole through there and welded it to the leg through the hole. The bottom is about 1.5 inches, so yeah. And that's pretty much it. So the next step is to go put the legs together, and there'll be a cross like this underneath here of steel. Got to do that, but of course got to measure this first and set that up. Then I'll weld that the legs all together, and then last this will go inside of it and get a coat of paint. Okay, onward. As I said before, we're not going to cover the actual welding. I've done that in a couple videos before, but just a quick review of what I did was I drilled some holes in these and then welded through to attach the stainless to the regular steel, and I used stainless steel arc welding rods. The real upgrade is here on the bottom, and to quickly review that, these cross pieces depend on the size of your pan, like this, and I notch mine and then put them together like that. But you can put in one solid piece and then two partial pieces like that. The thickness of the bottom of the pan is important. I use thick ones so that they're easier to weld to. And yeah, that's it for that. But here we can see the upgrade on the feet, the stainless steel finials, and they just work beautifully. They're not going to leave rust marks. So whatever piece of furniture you're working on, whether it's a umbrella stand or whatever, doing a trick like this will definitely keep those rust marks off your floor. Okay, well, I hope you found that useful and interesting in whatever welding project you happen to be doing.